Okay, so Gwenpool is a character that I've talked a lot on the channel. Ever since I read her original run, I started to become really interested with this character. You know, someone from our world that goes to the world of comic is a pretty interesting concept. Considering she keep all the knowledge of what she ran in her world and could wall break like another Pool we all know, I think this character have a lot of potential. It's kinda like if you or me got transported into the Marvel universe. When her book ended, I thought it was all we're going to have for this character, which was kinda sad. But yeah, other people like me that love the character keep her going. First in West Coast Avenger, and now in Gwenpool Strike Back. It's all fine and dandy, but did this new writer manage something good? I'll let my sidekick answer this question.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to officially say that Gwenpool is back. So, before we get into the story and character, let's go talk about the art for a bit. The original artist had a really distinct style when drawing the character, which was unlike any other comic. You know, it was kinda like a good mix between a manga and a comic book style. In a lot of ways, it's really hard to top since the original style really contributed in forging the character. I mean, no matter how good the writer is, a Gwenpool that looked like this and one that looked like this gave a totally different vibe. So, how are those drawing? Well, first I want to say that they did a really great job with the Gwenpool character in my opinion. She doesn't look as cute as the Guri Heroes one, but this one still managed to capture the weirdness and energy of the character. I mean, you can boy that they're the same character but just with a different style. It's really good considering Gwenpool has been drawn in a really different way, which made the character look like, dare I say, a slut. I know it's mean, but sometimes she's drawn in a kind of slutty way and it doesn't really fit the character in my opinion. But this time around I think they did a pretty good job. Yeah, I really like the character design. I think it's close to perfect and I really like it for a different style. A different adaptation. I'm not saying that it's as good as the previous one, but for a new version, I think they did a really good job. I also really like the stylization of the comic. The artist did a great job in making its style unique to fit the character. You know, like how you can see her imaginary cowboy hat in this scene, or how her face turned into a shark when she smirked. It's fun visual stuff that are not actually happening, but that are here to add some personality into the comic, and yeah, it really worked. I want more of those weird shark faces. I also think the artist is doing a really great job with the illusion of movement. It's drawn in a really dynamic way, and it's easy to imagine the movement in those scenes. So yeah, I like the character design of Gwenpool, the stylization overall, I like the art style. My only worry is what Gwenpool might look like underneath the mask. I mean, this image is a joke. She probably don't look like that, but you know, we never know, maybe she does. And Gwenpool is supposed to look much cuter. But we can't know right now, so let's not dwell on that subject. So, Baldion and Abertov, good job. The story is not what I thought it was going to be. In my video about my hope for this comic, I said the story was about Gwen trying to unmask Spider-Man, but it's not that at all. Which is good because, like I said in my previous video, it just doesn't really fit her character arc. Instead, she wants to get superpower. I mean other superpower. She can already go through the pages of the comics, but she wants a cool power that will boost her popularity even more. So she goes see Spider-Man, you know, trying to ask him to a way to get his superpower. I mean, it makes sense. It's a good plan to get more popularity, but we all know it won't work. I think this concept is a fun idea in a lot of ways because it works with her character arc, but mostly because we get to see her have fun and interact with our favorite character like Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four and Hulk. In her comic she only get to talk to a few heroes, only a few that were really popular, one like Blade or Doctor Strange, but now we have Michael Gwen with the big boys.
All of the greatest Marvel heroes are there. From me, to Captain America, to Captain Marvel, to Captain Iron Man, to...
Iron Man's not a captain.
Sorry, excited. I don't usually get to hang out with these guys.
And with Spider-Man it was a ton of fun, so now I'm looking forward to see how it's going to be with Hulk. I also hope she will go see the X-Men, but who knows. And this is exactly how a Gwenpool story should be. Something that is really self-aware, like trying to have superpower to prevent cancellation. It worked because this is what Gwenpool is fighting, both in her comic, but also as a character. The character is, like she said, not acknowledged by the higher-ups as a viable character, and she have to prove them wrong. And it's also pretty clever because most fans, if we would get stuck in the Marvel universe, we will probably go try to get some superpower. And with comic book knowledge, it sounds easy, but is it? So yeah, concept wise, I like it. It opened a lot of new opportunity. So let's go for this chapter, and I'm going to say I loved it. It served more as a prologue to the story, you know, establishing the who, where, when, why, but it was just pure fun. Reading her nonsensical thought bot, seeing her interact with Spider-Man, and more classic Gwenpool stupidity is just fun for me. Like when she said to the pregnant lady, as she faked a bank robbery, "If you pop, I call the cop. You hear me? Keep that nugget tuck up in here." Or when she showed her Heroes book photo and you have this Steve Rogers really stupid quote that he never said. Yeah, I think the comedy's pretty good in this one. But it wouldn't be a Gwenpool comic without her destroying the fourth wall by going through the white space of the comic. It's always fun to look at, and you can do pretty creative stuff both artistically and story-wise, like having her hold a panel that you need to read, or by doing some time travel bullshit. Like what they did with Gross Gwen, which made me go what the fuck in a good way. So on the story, Leah Williams, if you're seeing this, good job. Keep this up, it's awesome. Okay, so now let's talk about the most important element of the comic, and I'm talking about the main character. How is this version of Gwenpool? Well, I think yet again, it's pretty spot on. She's still the self-aware funny character she always was, making joke and comic book reference and all. Like when she tell Peter Parker she will blog about Aunt May robbing a tattoo shop or something, and she called him my dude as if they were best friends. So far I can tell you, yeah, she's pretty much the Gwenpool we know and love. The only difference is now she have thought box for when she's talking to us, and thought bubble for the stupid stuff she's thinking about. And it's a really good concept cause it made her feel even more human. Cause let's be honest, we don't always think about the smartest stuff all the time. When you read Batman, you only get the important stuff that the character is thinking about and none of the stupid shit. I think it's a really fun concept. Also, having her trying to get superpower is kinda clever cause yeah, I guess this is something she would consider to stay relevant instead of going bad. I think it worked with the character and it's a good development to her story. But it's kinda ironic that she wants to get power when she already have the power to warp through comic pages. But she's not wrong about wanting to have power cause we saw in her original run that her power are really strong but really limited when it comes to finding popular hero or villain. Cause she can't just retcon them, the writer won't allow it, so finding power that are more useful for combat is clever. Even though I have to admit that I don't want her to get new power. I think the character is fine as it is, and I honestly think she won't gain new ability in this comic, but it's still a fun concept. And when Gwenpool said she was pretty much intended to be a subversive self-aware commentary on superhero comic, you know that this writer gets it. Cause as pretentious as it sounds, it's kinda what Gwenpool is. You know, with her fighting cancellation instead of a real villain. But when you think about it, for a comic book character, the real villain is the reception, critic, and sales, so she's kind of fighting the real villain, huh? But what I'm getting at is that this writer seems to get what Gwenpool is about, so I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next. Okay, so yeah, I think that so far the writer seems to understand the character really well and is trying to push her in a good direction. So, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for the next issue. It's a damn shame it's only a mini-series, but hey, it's way better than nothing. And if it does well, maybe we will get her back for good. Gwen is such a good character and I'm glad to see that other writer can pull her off. And it gets my hopes up for the future of the character. But it's just the first issue, we never know, I might change my mind as I read the other issues. But until then, I'm happy. So what did you think? You liked it? You think it's bad? I would be really interesting to hear you guys out, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe. That's it for this video, hope you enjoyed.